Well, tonight, Simply Money's Amy Wagner shows us how Aldi is making a big push to get your business and the secrets to saving money there.
A nonprofit just dropped something that should tick off every grocery shopper in America. Consumer's Checkbook. Not a brand, not sponsored. A nonprofit that investigates prices surveyed grocery stores across 7 major cities. What they found? Aldi's prices run 30 to 40% lower than the average store. And here's the part nobody expected. Ounce for ounce, Aldi actually undercuts Costco and Sam's Club. No membership card, no forklift required. There are 25 products where supermarkets, drugstores, and even Walmart can't touch what Aldi charges. If you've been buying these items somewhere else for the last 5 years, you've quietly handed away thousands of dollars. Not for better food, but for fancier lighting, wider aisles, and shelf space wars between corporations fighting for your attention. By the end of this video, you'll understand the Aldi model so perfectly that you'll be able to put it to work for you. One item on this list shocked me more than any other. Outperforms high-end brands 5 times its price. You'd never expect to find it at a discount grocery store. Quick note, prices shift by region and season. I'm using recent typical numbers. The per unit gaps stay consistent. That's what matters. Before we get to that mystery item, let's start with something sitting in almost every kitchen in America. If you bought it anywhere other than Aldi, you overpaid, possibly by double. 1. Olive oil. Picture that olive oil at Kroger. You know the one. Fancy Italian village on the label. $15. Makes you feel like some Tuscan family pressed it by hand just for you. Aldi's Priano Extra Virgin Olive Oil? About $6 to $7 for 16.9 ounces. In a recent price check, Walmart's store brand, not even a premium label, charged over $7 for the exact same size. At a regular grocery store, you're looking at $10 to $15 for something comparable. But price isn't even the wildest part. When food professionals blind tasted 15 olive oils ranging from $8 to $40, Aldi's landed among the top picks. Meanwhile, investigators have found that many extra virgin bottles on grocery shelves were watered down or mixed with cheaper oils. The FDA has been painfully slow to crack down, so that $15 bottle wrapped in an Italian flag? It might not even be fully Italian. Aldi doesn't need to play that game. They're selling volume at thin margins, not a Tuscan fantasy. You cook with it every day. Across a year, that gap covers an entire week's groceries. And olive oil is just the warm-up. The next item is something you probably grab every single week without a second thought. 2. Eggs. The one product that turned into a luxury item overnight. Aldi's Happy Farms eggs run anywhere from about $1.50 to $3 a dozen, depending on where you live and when you shop. During the recent price spikes, conventional stores were charging $5 to $7 for the same dozen. One Aldi shopper tallied it up, roughly $150 saved per year just on eggs for a family of 4. Americans eat about 280 eggs per person per year. At inflated prices, that's a small fortune cracking into a pan. Now, some folks hear cheap eggs and worry about quality. Fair concern. But these come from the same USDA-inspected supply chains as everyone else's. Same grading system, same standards. The price difference isn't the chickens, it's the store's operating model. And since eggs sit in your kitchen every week, so does another silent budget killer you probably don't think twice about. 3. Spices. The quietest money pit in your entire house. Walk down the spice aisle at a regular grocery store. A tiny jar of garlic powder, $5. For ground up garlic. That's highway robbery under fluorescent lighting. Aldi's Stone Mill spices? About $1 to $2 a jar. In a 2025 comparison, that's a quarter of what conventional grocers charge. And in that same check, Aldi beat Costco per ounce on garlic powder. The bulk warehouse, beaten by the little discount store. There's actually a theory floating around the Aldi community online. Because their stores move so much product so fast, the spices sitting on that shelf are fresher than the ones gathering dust for months at your Kroger. Hard to prove, but it makes sense when you think about turnover. You could restock your entire spice rack. Cinnamon, paprika, cayenne, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, for what a single jar of McCormick costs at a traditional store. Now, if spices are the quiet thief, the next item on this list is the loudest bargain in the building, and most people walk straight past it without knowing. 4. Moser Roth Chocolate. Remember that mystery item I teased at the start? The one under $4 that embarrasses brands charging 5 times more? Chocolate. Moser Roth 85% dark chocolate. Under $4 at Aldi for nearly 4.5 ounces. A comparable Lind or Ghirardelli bar at the grocery store? $5 to $7. Half the price. European made. Moser Roth is produced in Germany exclusively for Aldi by Stork, the same company behind Werther's Originals and Toffifee. When Chowhound put 30 Aldi chocolate bars through a head-to-head taste ranking, Moser Roth varieties swept the top spots. Aldi shoppers online call the 85% bar things I can't repeat on a family channel. Now flip the bar over. Short ingredient list, real cocoa butter. Flip over some grocery store chocolate bars. Vegetable oils, artificial flavors, fillers. You're paying more for worse ingredients. That math is supposed to go the other direction. Tuck one in your desk drawer. Break off a square with your afternoon coffee. Put some out when company comes over. They'll assume you raided a specialty shop. Let them. Speaking of things that have no business tasting this good at this price, let's talk about what's in your bread basket. 5. Bread. $5 for a loaf of bread. That's where we are now. Somehow, everybody just accepted it. Aldi's Loaven fresh wheat bread, about $1 to $1.50 for a full loaf. And their everything bagels, $1.99 for a pack of 6. Walmart charges $3.38 for a pack of 5. Fewer bagels, smaller bagels, more money. That equation isn't supposed to work that way. A week's worth of bread for under $2. The extra you'd spend somewhere else is just a toll for wider aisles and a bakery display that smells nice. And breakfast is covered. But what are you spreading on that bread? Because if you're buying this next item anywhere else, you might as well hand the cashier your money and ask them to throw half of it out. 6. Almond butter. Nut butter at the regular grocery store feels like a tax on healthy eating. 7, $8 a jar. Gone in a week if you've got kids. Aldi's Simply Nature Creamy Almond Butter. In a 2025 check, about $3.39 for 12 ounces. Walmart's version, $5.23, nearly $2 more. And while prices elsewhere climbed from 2024 to 2025, Aldi's actually dropped. Flip the jar. No hydrogenated oils, no added sugar, no mystery stabilizers, just almonds. If the oil separates at the top, that's actually a good sign. It means nothing fake is holding it together. Quick stir, good as new. On toast, in smoothies, on apple slices. Straight off the spoon at midnight. No judgment. But almond butter isn't the only line item draining your grocery budget. What's coming next might change what ends up on your dinner table tonight. 7. Chicken. America's most purchased protein, and one of the places where Aldi flat out embarrasses the competition. In a 2025 Ramsey Solutions head-to-head of 29 everyday items, Aldi came in cheaper than Walmart on 24 of them, and meat was one of the strongest categories. A separate 2025 Business Insider basket test found Aldi beat Costco per ounce on meat, without the $65 membership card in your wallet. Some people get nervous buying meat at a discount store. Understandable. But Aldi's chicken comes from USDA-inspected facilities, same as Kroger, same as Publix. Same grade, same oversight. The difference is Aldi doesn't have 3 employees behind a glass counter, mood lighting over the meat case, and a guy handing out samples. All that theater costs money, and the audience, that's you, pays for it every time. Tuesday night, nothing planned. Chicken in the fridge, rice in the pantry, whatever veggies you've got. A $20 dinner for 4 just became 12. And speaking of what goes on that chicken, the next item might be the most unfair deal in the entire dairy aisle. 8. Irish butter. Grass-fed Irish butter sounds like something that belongs in a gourmet kitchen, until you find out Aldi sells it for nearly half the price of the name brand, sitting right next to it at Walmart. Countryside Creamery Pure Irish Butter, in recent checks, about $3.69 to $4.39 for 8 ounces. Kerrygold at Walmart, around $5.76 for the same size, over $2 more for what is functionally the same product. Grass-fed. Imported from Ireland. Golden color, rich flavor. Countryside Creamery won the Product of the Year award in spreads, voted by tens of thousands of consumers. Nutritionally, it's nearly identical to Kerrygold. Same calories, same fat, touch less sodium. That deep golden color, by the way, it's not dye. It comes from beta-carotene in the grass those Irish cows eat. The paler your butter, the more likely those cows spent their lives eating grain indoors. Your biscuit recipe doesn't care about the logo on the wrapper. Your wallet definitely does. We've covered the fridge. Now let's step into the pantry because there's a product in there that costs pennies at Aldi and outright robbery everywhere else. Rapid fire 3 quick wins. Before the next deep dive, let me hit you with 3 that don't need a long story. Just math. Canned goods, tomatoes, black beans, chickpeas, about $1 or less per can at Aldi. Your grocery store charges $1.50 to $2.50. You use these 3-4 times a week. That's $50 to $100 a year on cans. Rice 3-pound bag at Aldi, about $2.65. Conventional grocers charge $4 to $5. For a grain, bananas 39 to 49 cents a pound. Consistently among the cheapest in the country. On a product your household burns through every single week. 3 items, 30 seconds, probably $200 a year you didn't know you were leaving on the table. Moving on. 12 dairy staples. Cream cheese, sour cream, cottage cheese. The background singers of your kitchen, always there, never on the marquee, but they add up. In the 2025 Ramsey Solutions matchup, Aldi took most dairy categories versus Walmart, and longtime shoppers consistently say Aldi's sour cream and cream cheese taste as good, sometimes better than name brands. You're paying $2 extra for a logo stamped on foil. The cream cheese inside doesn't know the difference. Cream cheese on bagels, sour cream on tacos, cottage cheese for lunch. These are weekly purchases, the savings compound every single trip. And speaking of weekly buys, there's something in the frozen aisle that most people walk past without realizing it might be the smartest purchase in the entire store. 13. Frozen vegetables. Fresh vegetables are great until they turn into a science project in the back of your crisper drawer. Aldi's frozen vegetables, broccoli, mixed bags, green beans run about $1 to $1.50. Regular stores charge $2 to $3.50 for the same bags. But here's what makes this interesting. Frozen vegetables get picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen within hours. That fresh broccoli at the regular store rode a truck, sat in a warehouse, spent days on a shelf. By the time it hits your plate, it's lost nutrients. Frozen often holds onto more vitamins than what the store calls fresh. Sounds backward, but the science backs it up. Stock your freezer, zero waste. Zero guilt about that spinach you bought with big ambitions and threw out 5 days later. Frozen vegetables fix dinner. The next item fixes your morning, and the price gap is honestly embarrassing. 14. Coffee. Not your $6 latte, just regular ground coffee. The stuff you brew before you're functional enough to have opinions. Aldi's Barissimo costs noticeably less per ounce than Folgers or Maxwell House at conventional stores. In a 2025 comparison of 15 items at Aldi versus Walmart, Aldi won on 13, coffee included. You brew 365 mornings a year, even a few cents per ounce compounds into real money by December. And if you're still buying a daily coffee out at $4 or $5 a pop, you're spending roughly $1,500 a year on something Aldi sells for pennies per cup. That's not a coffee habit. That's a car payment with foam on top. Now, speaking of savings, if you're getting value from this, you'd like the rest of what we do here. We break down where your money goes, who's overcharging you, and how to keep more of it. Hit subscribe, it takes 2 seconds and costs nothing. Given the theme of this video, that should feel appropriate. State of Aldi, honesty check. Before we keep going, let me level with you. Aldi isn't perfect, and I'd lose credibility pretending otherwise. They've caught heat for shrinkflation, smaller packages at the same price. Some loyal shoppers say quality on certain items has slipped, and on a handful of products, the per-ounce price is no longer cheaper than Walmart or Kroger on sale. I'm not pretending Aldi wins every aisle. These 25 items are where the gap still crushes, even after all of that. And everyone is backed by per-unit comparisons from named sources, not opinions, numbers. With that out of the way, let's get into the items where Aldi's edge is so big it's almost insulting to shop anywhere else. 15. Paper products. Nobody gets excited about toilet paper until you run out at the worst possible moment on a Sunday night. In that same 2025 Ramsey Solutions comparison, the biggest Aldi versus Walmart savings landed in household items, paper towels, toilet paper, trash bags. The average household goes through about 100 rolls a year. Even a dime per roll adds up, and buying it at a gas station during a midnight emergency? That's the I didn't plan ahead tax. Fair warning, some shoppers say, Aldi's paper products feel thinner than Bounty or Charmin. Legit point. But for the price gap, most people won't notice. Your bathroom doesn't have a Yelp page. 3 more quick ones. Just numbers. Pasta, Aldi's store brand, under $1 a box. Barilla or DiCecco at the grocery store, $2 to $3. It's dried flour and water. If you want something fancier, Aldi's specially selected bronze cut organic pasta is $2.99, still cheaper than name brand bronze cut elsewhere. Marinara sauce, Priano at Aldi, about $3.19 for 24 ounces. Costco's option, a 2-pack of Rouse for around $13.61. Rouse is delicious, but that's over 4 times the per ounce price. Chicken broth, Chef's Cupboard, $1.55 for 32 ounces at Aldi. Per ounce, Aldi wins over Costco. Without the membership card, pasta, sauce, broth. Half the dinners in America start right there. All cheaper at Aldi. Next, 19 organic options. Organic food at a discount store. Sounds like a contradiction, like a tuxedo at a garage sale. But Aldi's Simply Nature Organic line, peanut butter, ketchup, pasta, undercuts whole foods and conventional organic sections by 30 to 40%. And it's not just price. Grab that ketchup at the regular store. Flip it over. First ingredient after tomatoes, high fructose corn syrup. Aldi's organic version, no corn syrup. Cleaner list, lower price. That math is backwards from what you'd expect. You don't need to overhaul your pantry. But for the items that matter, eggs, condiments, staples, Aldi makes organic possible without a whole food salary. Speaking of ingredient lists that matter more than people realize, the next one might genuinely catch you off guard. 20. Cheese. Aldi's cheese section is quietly one of the best in any grocery store. At any price. I'm not exaggerating. Block cheddars, imported Gouda, cranberry white cheddar, a fraction of what specialty shops charge. Multiple food publications have flagged Aldi cheese as a genuine strength, not just a budget compromise. But here's what really matters. That bag of pre-shredded Parmesan at the regular store? Check the ingredients. You'll find cellulose in there. That's a fancy word for wood pulp. They add it to stop clumping. Aldi's block Parmesan? Cheese, that's it. Grab a $5 grater and you've got fresh shavings in seconds. Throw together a cheese board for guests. Brie, sharp cheddar, prosciutto, crackers, all from Aldi. They'll assume you dropped $40 at a specialty shop. You spent maybe 12. From cheese to the freezer, there's something in there that solves a problem nearly every household deals with. 21. Frozen fruit. Fresh blueberries. Little spheres of betrayal. You buy a carton, eat maybe 6. And by Thursday, they're growing a fur coat in your fridge. Aldi's frozen fruit, blueberries, mixed berries, strawberries, runs cheaper per ounce than fresh, and cheaper than frozen bags at conventional stores. And frozen berries often retain the same or higher antioxidant levels as fresh ones. They get picked ripe and locked in within hours. That fresh carton at the store has been losing nutrients on a truck for days. A bag lasts months in your freezer. Fresh ones last a week if you're lucky. Smoothies, oatmeal, yogurt, baking, frozen handles, all of it. The smart strategy. Quick reality check before the final stretch. I'm not saying buy everything at Aldi and never set foot anywhere else. In a 2025 Business Insider basket comparison, Aldi came in cheaper on 10 out of 17 items versus Costco, but Costco won on dairy, cereal, and some snacks. The smartest move isn't brand loyalty. It's a two-store strategy. Aldi for these items and your basics. Fill gaps wherever you find the best deal. The goal isn't allegiance to a logo, it's keeping more money in your pocket. Back to the list. These final 4 are where the annual savings really pile up. 22. Maple syrup and honey. Grab that maple syrup from your pantry, flip it over, read the ingredients. If the first word is corn, that's not maple syrup. That's corn syrup wearing a plaid shirt and pretending to be from Vermont. Most maple-flavored syrups at regular stores contain 0 actual maple. Corn syrup, artificial flavoring, caramel color. The real stuff has one ingredient, maple syrup. When you're at Aldi, look for 100% pure and grade A on the label. That's your guarantee there's nothing else in the bottle. Same with honey. Pure, straightforward, and cheaper than name brands. Pancakes, oatmeal, salmon glaze, baked beans. Stores properly last for years. Final stretch now. 3 items left. And for anyone watching their spending closely, these might matter most. 23. Produce. The foundation of every home-cooked meal. And one of the areas where Aldi makes conventional grocers look silly. Yellow onions. About 59 cents a pound. Roughly a quarter less than competitors. Bell pepper tri-pack save 44 cents to over $1 versus Walmart. Baby Bella mushrooms. About 84 cents less per package than Target. Bananas, consistently the cheapest in the country at 39 to 49 cents a pound. The trick with Aldi Produce is knowing what works. Onions, peppers, bananas, mushrooms, potatoes, always a win. Berries and leafy greens, grab them but use them fast. They don't sit around as long. Drop a comment. I want to hear your best and worst Aldi Produce stories. Everyone's got one. Almost done. But I saved the second to last spot for one that'll catch most people completely off guard. 24. Wine. Aldi and wine. 2 words most people don't put together. That's a mistake. Winking Owl wines start around $5 a bottle. But here's where it gets wild. In a 2025 survey of 40,000 consumers, Aldi's specially selected French sparkling wine won a Product of the Year award, under $10, for an award-winning French sparkling wine. A comparable bottle at a wine shop? $15 to $25. This isn't gas station wine with a twist-off cap. Aldi's buying team sources directly from producers, cutting out distributors. Same no-nonsense model that keeps everything else cheap. Fun fact: Aldi and Trader Joe's are owned by different branches of the same German family. Trader Joe's made $2 Chuck famous. Aldi's wine program runs on the same philosophy. Dinner party, guests compliment the wine. You either tell them where it came from or you don't. Either way, nobody guesses it cost $5. One left, and I saved it for last because it wraps this entire video together. 25. The Aldi model itself. The 25th thing you should never buy outside Aldi isn't a product. It's a way of thinking. Quarter deposit carts that eliminate cart collectors. Products in their shipping boxes so nobody wastes time stocking shelves. You bag your own groceries. 90% private label. No membership fee. Every one of those choices funnels savings directly back to the price tag. That consumer's checkbook study didn't find Aldi 30 to 40% cheaper by coincidence. It's built into the walls. Think about what happens when you walk into a conventional supermarket. Background music, soft lighting, 17 varieties of the same pasta, a guy in an apron offering you a cube of cheese on a toothpick. All of that costs money, and that money comes from one place: the person at the checkout. You don't have to love the Aldi experience. The quarter carts, bagging your own stuff, the smaller selection. It's not for everyone, but if you want to keep more of what you earn, walk in, grab these 25 items, walk out. The difference will show up in your bank account by the end of the month. That's 25 items where the numbers don't flinch. Olive oil, eggs, spices, chocolate, butter, bread, chicken, cheese, wine, and everything in between. Here's my challenge. Pick 5 from this list. Switch to Aldi for 1 month. Track what you save, then come back and tell me what happened. The number will surprise you. Drop a comment. Which item shocked you most? Which one did I miss? I read every single one. If this helped you shop smarter, hit subscribe. I put out videos like this so you can stop overpaying and start keeping your money where it belongs, in your pocket.